Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And welcome to the service. We, as well as I, am very grateful that you decided to join us in the service today. My name is Mark Oune, and I will be chairing or in command of today's service. A position I always wanted to be at service, right? So the first thing we'll do today, will the Sangha or the group please rise for a reflective message? I will read it. Let's see. Happiness follows sorrow. Sorrow follows happiness. But when one no longer discriminates between happiness and sorrow, a good deed and a bad deed, one is able to realize freedom. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Will the Sangha remain standing and turn to the books in front of you? On page 49 is the Junirai. Sit? Okay, you can be seated. The higher authority told me we could be seated. Page 49, 49, Yonjunku, for those who speak Spanish and Japanese. In English is 49.
Keishu tenin shokugyo Amida senryodoku son Zai mimeo anrako Muryo bushi shu ineo Onjiki shinjon yoteno Shama tagyon yotobu Ryomoku jonyaku shorenge Koga chorai midathon Menzen enjon yoman gats Iko yunyoten ichigats Shonyo tenku kushira Hoga chorai midathon Kannon shodai kanchuju Shuju meutho hoshogon Nobuku gedo makeoman Koga chorai midason Mubi muku kothyo jo Shutoku keuket nyokoku Shothari yaku toku jizai Koga chorai midason Jippo myomon bothashu Muryo shoma dyotan dan Isho shujo gan rikiju Koga chorai midason Hontai hoken shishoke Zengon shoujo meudai za Ohi zajo nyothen no Koga chorai midason Hison buset mu akumyo Yakumun yonin akudohu Shunin shishin kyohiton Koga chorai midason Hison muryo hoben kyo Mu shoshu akuchi shiki Ojo futai shibodai Koga chorai midason Ga setten hi son kudoku ji shu zen mu hen nyo kai sui shogyaku jo sha e sei shu jo o sho hi namanabu 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 Gani shikudoku byodo sei isai don monai shin onyo Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Will the Sangha or the group please rise to sing Gatha or song, Namu Amida Butsu on page 136. Then following the song, the sensei or Reverend Gibbs will repeat 6 Paramitas on page 11.
When life is fair and sunlight gilds the day, when fortune smiles and flowers adorn our way, on ahead swans with grateful hearts to say, Namo Amida Butsu. Even though our way leads neath a darkened sky, and to our loved one's pain and death draw nigh, our tears may flow, yet trustingly we cry, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Please remain standing for the reading of the 6 Paramitas on page 11. Should be on page 6. They should have found that. If you now would join me for the reading of the 6 Paramitas on page 11. Dana, giving. May I be generous and helpful. Shila, guidance. May I be guided by the Buddhist precepts. Kshanti, tolerance. May I regard the mistakes of others with sympathy. Virya, perseverance. May I do my best in all things. Dhyana, meditation. May I reflect deeply on my life through the Buddha's teachings. Prajna, insight. May I understand the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. Please be seated.
Sensei will now present his Dharma message.
Well, again, good morning. Excuse me for losing my mask. I do that just during the Dharma talk. And so the bad news is I've prepared a rather long Dharma talk. The good news is whenever you see me looking down and pausing, that means I'm deciding what to cut. So I'll do my best here. I overdid it here. Now, we again want to thank Billy Amane, Bill the Magician, for a charming display of wizardry. And that wizardry will be repeated just after this religious service. We're going to do that again. As always, I must thank Alan Goto for recording this service, putting it up on YouTube for us, recording and tech support. Kathy Kumagai for additional tech support and for playing organ. I noticed yesterday during the funeral how well Kathy plays. I used to play somewhere, and I used to work somewhere, and Kathy knows who it was. They had this organist that always chorded. I couldn't tell where we were in the song. Kathy plays beautifully. Thank her for doing that today. And my wife, Kyoko Okura Gibbs, for the flowers and the Nijin preparation, which was quite a bit today because we had all the stuff up for the funeral yesterday for our beloved deceased minister, Reverend Hirota's funeral. So a lot of work there from Kyoko. And Marco Oune for not just chairing the service, but for contacting Bill and arranging the program today. And we appreciate Mark's help on this. Now, spiritual paths, philosophies, or religions should bring confidence and composure into our lives. This morning, I want to speak about the possibility of living our lives with strong assurance, a confidence that can carry us forward. Most religions can do this, but we must be able to trust the foundation on which the religion is based. Religions positing a singular God as the source of the universe, monotheistic religions like Christianity and Islam, are built upon a foundation of revelation from a pre-existent God to special persons in special places. The four largest forms of monotheism all came within a 500-mile radius of the part of the earth that Europeans call the Middle East. So, again, revelation by that God delivered within a 500-mile radius is the basis for monotheism. I won't go into our basis. The point is that I can't stand on that foundation, so I stand on this foundation. I found that foundation to be wobbly in my earlier life. I found this foundation solid. If you find that foundation, you step on that one. Stand where you find a solid foundation, whether it's Christian, Buddhist, or whatever. But again, I come not to bury other religions, but to praise them. I am so often impressed by the behavior of simple lay people in the Christian and Muslim traditions in particular, the composure that they have, what we're hoping for, that settledness, that assurance, that is a good thing. I don't trust in those belief systems. I do value the trusting, confident, hopeful way of living I see in the persons who follow the Christian, Muslim, Jewish, and Baha'i religions. Jodo Shinshu Buddhism can and often does lead us to live with that same kind of trusting confidence. I was raised as Roman Catholic, so in my youth, I never heard the gospel songs. They don't play those in the Catholic churches. So in my 20s, I became a fan of blues music. And I started to hear those old gospel songs I'd never heard from people like Mississippi John Hurt, Mississippi Fred McDowell, Blind Willie McTell, and others. Now, Mississippi Fred McDowell is not from Mississippi. He told me so. He's from Tennessee. I met him in 1969. He's a wonderful man. He was a wonderful man, utterly humble. This guy's famous, one of the famous blues players, utterly humble, wonderful guy. But he wasn't from Tennessee. Blind Willie McDowell was really blind. I didn't meet him. I wish I would have. He's my favorite. Lightning Hopkins was very good and not the least bit humble. He was a star already. That second generation of blues musicians,
not like Lead Belly or Mississippi Fred McDowell or Blind Willie McTell, these very humble guys who never made any money off what they did. Lightning Hopkins is already getting tens of thousands of dollars a night to play, and he was very clear that he was a star. He ordered the chairman off the stage. He said, "Get off my stage." But he was good. He was good. They all did those gospel songs I had never heard before in my life, until I was like 25 years old. And Blind Willie McTell uses a couplet in several of his songs, these same two lines in several of his songs, his religious songs, and it goes, "Ain't it grand to live in union? Ain't it grand?" Well, by golly, it is, isn't it? You don't have to be Christian, you don't have to be any particular religion, you have to have your heart open. And I trust those religions. I've seen them open the hearts of people. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Baha'i persons with open hearts. I've seen Jodo Shinshu Buddhists with the same open heart, that same confidence. We can have that confidence. And we too could say, ain't it grand to live in union? Ain't it grand? It is grand to live knowing that you have a foundation underneath you that will carry you where you need to go. Ain't it grand to live in union? We can feel, we can feel that too. We can feel union with the Buddha. The Nembutsu links us with a limitless source of light, life, and goodness. If we feel this union with the Buddha, we might be nicer. If we feel this union with the Buddha, we might be able to live in a way that we're nicer to others. It's very hard to be respectful and kind to everyone we meet in our daily lives. We can't actually be nice to everyone all the time. We can't. I can't. Many of us can't. We can be nice to others, to most others, a lot of the time. When we recall the love we have for our mother, our father, our deceased life partners, our living children, remembering what you care about, remembering who you love and what you value can be that foundation. If you add Christianity to it, great. If you add Buddhism to it, great. Knowing what you value and who you love is all you need to live with this open heart. Ain't it grand to live in union? Ain't it grand? We can be nice to others when we have that confidence, when we have that trusting confidence, when we remember what we value. And the advice I always give you and myself is remember who you love, remember what you value, remember who you care about. Remembering who and what you love will help you to move on, to move forward. Remembering who we truly love will help us to navigate the restless ocean that we are navigating, this life, the restless seas we travel each day. People like aphorisms, and little aphorisms. They're not always exactly true, And one Buddhist aphorism you've heard, recent one, that be kind whenever you can. Whenever it is possible, be kind. It is always possible. It's not always possible. I've told you that before. It's just not for me, not for you, not for any living, breathing, biological person is it possible to be nice all the time. It is possible to be nice a lot of the time if you have a religious foundation, a spiritual philosophy, a political orientation that opens your heart and your mind to others. It is possible. So I'm going to give you two mottos that are appropriate for us. One is already but not yet. That comes from Shinran directly. You're already there but not yet. And the other one is I'm ready but not yet. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about passing on. We just lost a couple people and two of them, one who passed and one who's in hospice, when last time I saw him said, I'm ready. They just look at me and say, I'm ready. And the one lady who's still with us told me, I'm ready to join my husband. I'm ready. Well, I'm ready too. I'm ready to join my mother and my father, but not yet. I'm ready, but not yet. And for the not yet, you can reference that scene in Blade Runner where the replicant played by Rutger Hauer, Roy, is about to die. They only have a 6-year lifespan. And he's about to go, and he's got stuff to do first. So he grabs something that's going to hurt his hand and crushes it into his hand, causing pain, saying, not yet. Well, that's me too. I'm ready, but not yet. I'm not going yet. I have every reason to believe I'm not going anytime soon. But we should be ready. but we shouldn't want it to be yet. Looking at that first little aphorism, already but not yet, this describes the benefit we receive from following the teachings of the Buddha. We are already on a path which will lead us where we need to go. We're not there yet. As Shinran Shonin, our denominational founder, put it, we attain what we will come to have. You have attained what you will come to have. It's already a fact that you got where you're going to get. It's already a fact that it's been determined. You will have freedom, happiness, light, beauty, goodness, fulfillment. You already know you will have that. Shinran is breaching the usual protocols we have for speaking about time. You receive what you will come to have, he tells us. He is breaching our usual protocols for talking about time, but here 800 years after he wrote, we have these conceptions of a multiverse, which really may help us to understand this. On this Nembutsu path, which we are taught at the Pasadena Buddhist Temple, we are already assured of enlightenment, but we're not yet enlightened. Now, some of you may have seen one of those recent films that deal with the multiverse concept. They're light, they're not deep, but one, of course, Dr. Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and the other one, the highly honored, and it deserves the honors, but it's really a light, fun thing if you haven't seen it. Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. Both of these movies point to alternate realities and parallel timelines. Buddhists have always believed in alternate realities and parallel timelines, you betcha. Shinran was speaking about parallel timelines 800 years ago, before the movies came out. Shinran was already telling us to stop worrying about what happens after death. He's already seen these multiple timelines. We're here now, we're there then enlightened. That's already been determined. It's already a fact. You're a Buddha. Right now, you can't feel it. I can't feel it. It's already a fact. This comes right out of Everywhere, Everything, All at Once, or Dr. Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We should, as modern people, have this seem a little less foreign to us than it did 800 years ago. It's already a fact. It's been determined. You're okay. At the end of this life, you're okay. It's already fixed. The problem's already been solved. We can already know that we are accepted by the depths of reality now, and we will enter fully into the realm of nirvanic light later. Our friends in other religious traditions have this same feeling. Ain't it grand to live in union? Ain't it grand? We want to share. We don't want to be special. We want to share. We are not yet awoken. I am not yet awoken. We cannot yet do all that we would wish to do to help those we care about. Reborn in Amida Buddha's land of light, we will be in a very different condition. We will be in a very different condition than our present constricted state. We will come to have knowledge, insight, and the abilities we would need to genuinely help those we love. Let me read a brief passage from the letters of Shinran. This is his student, Ren E. And Shinran's student, Ren E., writes back to Shinran saying, "This is what I understand that you told me. Whether one is left behind or goes before, it is surely a sorrowful thing to be parted by death. But one who first attains nirvana vows without fail to save those who were close to him, to save first those who were close to him, and he leads those with whom he has been karmically bound, his relatives and his friends." Again, Ren-yi was writing actually to his fellow student Kyoshinbo, who had just lost his father, and he sent the letter to Shinran for approval, and Shinran said, yes, I think that's a very good way to put it. Shinran tells us that the new lives we have in the Pure Land of Amida Buddha will be free of limitations. The very bodies that we have, the body you will have in your next life will be a body of boundlessness. Your very body will be the lack of any limitations. This is all quite elevated, yet the imagery is concrete. We go into purity and goodness, and in our re-energized, expanded forms, we return to help others, all others, beginning with those we deeply care about. Our abilities now are meager. My abilities now to help others are meager. Our ability to help others in our awoken and transformed state in Amida Buddha's pure realm will pass our current ability to understand. We will be able to help those we love. I'll read one more passage from Shinran's writings. These come from his letters. This is the letter he's writing to the same guy who just lost his mother, Kyoshin, same guy Rennie was writing to. And he tells Kyoshin that what I mean by they attain nirvana is that when the heart of the person of true and real faith attains the fulfilled land at the end of his or her present life, that person becomes one with the light that is the heart of the Tathagata, one with the light that is the Buddha. For his reality is immeasurable life, and his activity is inseparable from the immeasurable light of the Buddha. That's another way of putting it. This thing we're going to get, it's what we need, and it's already been determined. So that's kind of a description of the not yet part of it. What will be, but it's already set that this will happen. So remember, our fulfillment is already, but not yet. The other aphorism that I've given you, fortunately, requires less explanation. Facing death, regarding facing death, I'm ready, but not yet. And this is a way of thinking I encourage you to share with me. I'm ready, but not yet. Speaking for myself, I'm ready to join my mother and my father and my other deceased friends and relatives, my cousin Steve. I'm ready to join them in the realm of light, but not yet. Not yet. I got other things to do here first. For the not yet aspect, you might reference the scene in Blade Runner again. Not yet. I'm not going yet. I got stuff to do. And that is half of my attitude towards death. Not yet. My full attitude, again, I'm ready, but not yet. And I encourage you to share that attitude with me as you may. This morning, I remind you that it's already determined that all your dreams will come true, but it's not fully here yet. I share this motto, already but not yet, Shinran's motto, already but not yet, and the little motto I made up, I'm ready. Shinran, another way Shinran phrases this is, we receive what we will come to have. This is elusive, subtle. It's much like the multiverse movies. You're already a Buddha. It's already done, but you're not right here now yet. It will be. What has been determined will come to be. The goodness and the light are unfolding. They are embracing us, and we will fully know that and be able to be part of it all one day. Right now, ain't it grand to live in union? Ain't it grand? It's grand to walk this path. Thank you. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sensei, for your enlightening and insightful message of the day and giving us ways we can practice living with Buddhist teachings. Please remain seated while I repeat the closing reflective reading of today. It is, appreciate what you have today, as tomorrow it may not be there. M. Now, do I have any announcements? Sensei? Yeah.
Yeah, the classes I teach here won't start for another week. First week of April, we'll be doing Tai Chi Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. We'll have a meditation class 6 p.m. on Tuesday and Buddhist study classes 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Forgive me for waiting one more week to resume those classes. I hope to see some of you there. Also, if any of you knew, Judy Nishimoto Ota, there is a commemoration of her activism at the Little Tokyo Service Center today at 2 p.m. She was a good friend of mine, and I'm going down there. And if you didn't know her, just know that there was one more Japanese American who really strived to bring justice to everyone, no matter who they were.
Hi, I'm Kathy. Again, thank you everybody who came out to help yesterday with Reverend Hirota's funeral. It was just a wonderful way to support the family, and we really appreciate all the hard work everybody put into doing it. For the next 2 weeks, we just want to let you know that Alan Goto is going to be on vacation. Yes, and we're very happy for him, but it also means that we will be having services here in person, but what's happening inside of here will not be live streamed. Instead, we will have pre-recorded services that Reverend Gibbs has already recorded with Alan. That will be up on YouTube. And if you want, you can do both. You can come here and then go home and see another service too. But yes, so for the next 2 weeks, we will be basically in person. And next week is our Shotsuki Hoyo, which is the monthly memorial service. And then April 9th will be Hanamatsuri, which is celebrating the birthday of the Buddha. Yeah. So we encourage everybody to attend the next 2 weeks. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something else that you all are desperate to know, but I can't remember at the moment. Yeah. Oh. Oh, well, there will be otoki, yes, after Hanamatsuri, and we may have some extras available for sale. And we are taking orders now. And we thank Mark for chairing. And if you would like, I think Mark will also announce that after service we will be having a magic show again.
Yes, I would like to thank all of my friends who came to help support me as the chair of today's service. Many of them drove, not from Texas or New York, but they did come from the South Bay, Gardena, and Torrance, in that area. So I just wanted to thank you. I really appreciate it. I also wanted to, again, thank all the people who put this service together today: Kathy, Alan, Sensei, Kyoko, and others. Anybody else have anything else they want to say? Well then, okay, I have a couple more. June 3rd, just to put it on your calendar, is bingo, and that's always a delightful event. Again, I'd like to thank all the way out here for doing the second half. It won't be a repeat of the first half. This is all brand new material. So after we conclude here, you can all come up to the left front as you face the Naijin, and Bill will continue on for another 15 to 20 minutes. After, there's donuts, plenty of donuts in the building next door. Restrooms are next door too as well. So if nobody else has anything else to say, after we conclude, you can come up and offer us, not osai-sen, but oshoko. So that concludes today's service, and again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
No.